Hello, what's up, guys? Welcome back to MonLabo Linux. Today we're gonna be talking about Helm chart. Okay, so we are just going to install it and see how we can install the chart from it. And later on, if you want, we can talk about something really serious on that in a deeper manner. Okay, so for today, I'm going to be just installing it on our Podman uh, Podman desktop using on top of Minikube where the cluster will be running. Okay, so now let's go ahead with so if we do Minikube status, sorry, status. Okay, we should see that the control plane and everything else is okay, up and running. So now let's go ahead and install Helm. Okay, the package manager. So for you to understand what is a package manager, let me just do something here. So if I was to do DNF, uh, DNF search for maybe Figlet, okay. So if I do this, we should see that we have Figlet that is given here, for example. So what it does is that instead of you going online, grabbing, searching for the right package, for the right architecture, the right server, the right OS distribution, and download it and probably download all the dependencies together as well. So you don't have to do that. You just ask the package manager, hey, go ahead and search for this. You go and search for it, and when you install it, it just comes back with the package, the packages, the dependency, and the weak dependencies as well if they exist. Okay, so that's exactly what Helm does. But on top of that, it also help you uh, dump, uh, templatize your your manifest file that you can send to Kubernetes later on. Okay, and that's exactly something like that that we want to do. So we want to install it. Okay, and there are many ways to install it. All right. So when you come to the Helm the Helm uh, page, okay, they have this quick start here where you can click on it, for example, and you can see it say that you have a Kubernetes cluster that is part of the prerequisite and decide on the security aspect of whatever you want to do, and then install and configure Helm. Okay, so you also need to have a kubectl that is locally configured and ready to enter your cluster. And finally, install a Helm so you can see tools like that, but you can also use other stuff. Okay, but and after you are done, for example, you can install Bitnami that will give you a repository from where you can search for many other stuff, for example, like uh, Apache, Tomcat, Jenkins, and many other stuff. Okay, so yeah, so you can do all those stuff, and then you can follow here to learn more about all the stuff that they done that they did here. Okay, but I'm gonna show you some stuff here. Um, so how do we install it? All right, so you can install it using uh, yep, so you can click here, for example, and then on the installation guide, you will see that they have different methods, different ways that you can go through to install your Helm package manager. So here you can install it from the binary where you go to the desired version that you want here. So they are actually working on releasing other versions, okay, like for example 3.19.0, but actually we are still, they also have alpha there for 4.0 something, but this is the latest and greatest version, okay, that is stable. So I will advise you to go with this one unless you want to download maybe the alpha version and start testing it. But for now, you will go through this, and if you have a processor of x86 underscore 64, okay, it goes by AMD. All right, and if it's 86 only, so it's i386 here. And then for other platform, I'm not really aware of what you are using, so you can choose your own here, either Windows or Mac. But there are other alternatives, okay, that you can use. So you can use a script, for example. They have a script here that you can use to do the installation. And if you want to install, if you want to understand how that script is, you can click here and see the content of that script. So you can do that, or you can use this command here, okay, with bash, that will immediately execute it. Or you can now use the package manager, okay, like Homebrew that we saw earlier, Chocolate from for the official Windows package manager, that is very nice as well. Scoop, okay, for Windows as well. Winget for Windows. Definitely Windows has a lot of package managers. And APT for VPN, Ubuntu, like operating system. You can use this. Or Yum, for example. Yum Fedora. You see that they say Yum DNF Fedora. Okay, so this means that you have to use something related to Fedora in order to have it. And here you have from Snap, so you can also use Snap. Okay, so if you remember, I showed you a video in a previous video, one of my previous video, where we were using Flatpak to install some applications. So you can also use Snap, but unfortunately on Flatpak I did not see Helm. Okay, so that's why you have to go either with this one or you go with this one. But for this one, I prefer this one, and I'm going to show you how easy it is. Okay, so if you do that with Snap, for example, so you can say Snap search, all right, and you search what you search for Helm, for example, and it will go ahead and show you this. Okay, the one with the star here is the one that you are looking for, because it's the version that we just saw, 3.18.16. The same thing if I do that, and if you want to install, you just follow the documentation where they say you can install it that way. But what I want to do is I want to um, I want to ask GNF, okay, to provide me with the package source that I can use to install that Helm, to have this command. So it's going to go ahead and say, okay, I found it from the Helm, from the EPEL release, the extra package for Linux. Okay, so you need to have that extra package for Linux installed, and if you don't know how, just go ahead, just go online, type EPEL installation for Rocky Linux. Okay, and they are going to show you how to do that. So, and you will have this. So here I'm going to install it now. So I will just do sudo Helm, no, not Helm, come on man, DNF. Let's see if we have some update first. Okay, it's always good to have update before you start doing anything with your system. And as you can see, my system is completely updated and ready to be used. So I will now do sudo dnf, oops, not fnd, don't know how I reverse that, dnf install Helm. Okay, Helm, and then I will hit enter and see what we got. Okay, we have a package without dependency, and the version is exactly 3.18.6, which is the latest version. So I will type enter here, and it's going to download the RPM package, unpack it, verify, and install it. Okay, and then remove it afterwards. So this is nice. Okay, so we have the package installed, so we can do Helm and version. Okay, Helm version, and we have this, which is nice. Yuppie. So now we have to go ahead and see how to use that Helm, because it looks great, but can we use it and interact with the Podman that we installed using Flatpak? Because if you remember, we installed this guy using Flatpak, right? So we want to make sure that we are able to do just that. So let's come here and come to this, and as you can see here, they say that if you want, for example, to add a repo, you can type this command, Helm repo add. Okay, and then you type the local name here, any name that you want. You don't have to type it exactly like this, but you can, it's good to keep the standard. Okay, And then this one is mandatory to have it like this because that's the official URL to get the packages or the chart from there. So that's what we are going to do. But if you don't know how to do that, you can do Helm and then dash H, okay, and this will provide you with a help, and within that help you can see some initial comments here that they tell you what they do, okay. You have some environment variables here, and then you can see some related configuration files and other data, metadata related stuff, and path to the commands, and also the usage here with the available commands of that Helm command. So we can say, for example, they say, for example, um, Helm repo add, right? So if you check here, you will see something like repo, okay? For example, add, list, remove, update, and index chart repository. So if you want to know what is there, for example, you can go ahead. But I'm going to show you first how to search for a package, okay? And the reason why you should add a repository, for example, how to add a repository on your local, and how to search from the remote repository. So if you want to search from a remote repository, so you do helm, okay, helm search, and then you do dash dash hub. If you do dash dash hub here, you will see, let's do that with less command, you will see that they have herb, okay, or repo. So herb is the artifact herb, which is the official uh, remote repository from where you can search for packages. It's exactly like having a local repository and a remote repository with GNF, for example. So this is the local repository, this is the remote repository. So if you search from your remote repository, you will immediately find it. But if you search from your local repository, you might not find anything because you don't have anything configured. So let's go ahead and test that. So if you call this and you type, for example, herb, okay, and you were to type something like Jenkins, for example, you will see that it's going to go ahead and try to find if we have Jenkins available. And as you can see, it returned with so many things, okay, so many. So if you want, you can also search for things like MySQL, okay. You can also search for things like this, or maybe something really sweet that we are going to use on our next video recording, which is called local stack, okay. So if you search for that, you will have this. All right, so you have local stack, you have everything. This is from remote, but what about the local repo, which is a keyword, okay. It says that no repository has been configured, so this is where you need to add a repository. For example, if we want to add a bitnami repository locally, okay, we can do this and do this and do this, okay. We type this and then it's going to add it for you, and after it has added it, so you can type helm repo list, okay. Helm repo list, you see the local name here, which is a pointer to this one, which goes online and look for, or which is the repository from where you can get all the packages that you want. For example, now where we were not able to search it from local, from our local environment, we can now type like this. I'm not sure it's going to find it from bitnami, but let's see if you can look for it in bitnami. Not found, okay. So it's not available on the bitnami, so we can search for something like maybe Tomcat, okay, from bitnami. We see a lot of version of Tomcat available there. All right, so there is only one version, which is this one, okay. All right, so now if I want to add, for example, local stack that we use in our subsequent videos. So if I want to add local stack, for example, I can come here and say let's say I come here and type local stack, okay. I can type in front of it something like helm local stack, then so I can either follow this because I took a look at it and it looks good. Okay, it looks completely good, but it's better to do that from the official uh, artifact hub repository here because they are the best instruction for their tool. Okay, so this is it here. All right, this is it here, and if you want to install it, for example, say you're installing chart. Okay, so you do this and then you type this, and if you do repo list again, you will see that now you have two repos. Okay, so you have two repos. So now if you search for that again, local stack, you should, should find it from this. Earlier you say that there were no results. Okay, but now you can see that we have it. So now if you want to download that, all right, okay, so if you do helm dash h, and then you grab for something like pool. Okay, so you will see here that they say helm pool, download a chart to your local directory to view. Okay, so I don't want to do that. I don't want to install directly from online because I want to pull, customize, and maybe change some stuff that before installing, having more control. So I will do helm pool. Okay, and if you don't know by which subsequent command will come here, so you can type -h, of course we dash help. So you do this, okay, and pool, and then here you have the chart and the URL, or you type the repo, okay, and the chart name that you are looking for. So if you remember, when we were doing repo list, okay, repo list, here we had this. Okay, so this is the repository. Okay, so we want to do pool, and then we paste that, and then we put the name that we are looking for. Okay, and we type enter. So when you do that, you have something like this, okay, which was downloaded. But now if you want to untar it, you unpack it, you just do tar, xpf, for example, and then you pass that name right there, and it has been unpacked. So you can do ls and remove the other one, the file. So just say like this and local stack dash. All right, so now we are left with this one. So if you go to local stack, okay, you do this, you will have something like this. So, and this is where, for example, you might need something like Visual Studio Code. Okay, so I have it already installed here, so I can just click on it and move to this location and start having access to the content of the file. So let me close this. So if I was to come here, open a folder, very quick, don't have that much time. Okay, let me go with this one, and I'm gonna say open, and let's wait for it to open. Okay, so as you can see now, I have it open here. I have Helm chart and everything, the typical structure of Helm chart. Okay, so fortunately I already have Vietnamese, so which means that I can, it will, if I do Helm dependency update, it will resolve with dependencies within this chart. Okay, because we have chart here and we have charts here again where dependencies are. Okay, so I'm not going to go deeper into the structure of having the sub chart and all those, the umbrella and everything values. For now I'm not going to go through that. So if I click here, for example, I want to have something like home. Okay, so you click on extension, search for that, and then you come here. For example, you can use this one, you install it. Okay, we trust and install. It looks very popular, right? But it's not by popularity that you always install something. You have the helper here too. Then I'm looking for another one called Kubernetes. and I can go ahead and try to install it. It's popular by 5.9 millions downloads. Okay, still installing. Okay, it's done. So now if we come back here, we have this. Okay, and when you click there, you should it should go ahead and check if you have any cluster, if you have any Helm repo and any other cloud stuff. And we also and it will also check all your Helm repo. And if you click on those repo, you will see a lot of stuff that are available underneath. Okay, but that's not the purpose here. So the purpose is to see how we can continue with this. Okay, that installation that they show us. So if you come here, for example, on the local stack website, so you will see that they say this is how you can install it, for example. So if we were to do something like this, okay, because yep, let's copy that, come back here, then you have to make sure that you are within this, okay, because it will look for a lot of stuff here. So we will first do Helm depth. For dependency, you can type it in a whole word, or maybe whole word, or maybe something like a shortcut like this for alias. Dependency update, and then it will say that it has successfully got an update for local stack, and then we continue with the remaining one. So it also got for Bitnami update complete. Happy helming. Thank you. Nice. So we are good, and as you can see here, we got Bitnami and downloaded. Uh, I mean, he downloaded the common this one, okay, which is the dependencies within that local stack. Now, if I do something like this, oops, like that, didn't know that they will highlight and copy at the same time. So before that, we do um, list, okay, and we don't have anything. So if we now type this and we say Helm install, and then we have to give it a name. For example, I can say my local stack, okay, or something like this, my local stack, okay, my local stack, and I hit enter. So it's going to go ahead and attempt to deploy it, and then we can now check and do Helm list again to see what is there. You can see that it says it has deployed successfully. So if I reduce this a little bit, so you should see here that it has successfully deployed, okay. And now if I do if I come here, okay, to this guy, so I should see that I have my local stack that is getting deployed as a pod. I have its service as well. Yeah, I have the service as well that is getting deployed here, and this is where it is available. On another video, we're gonna see how we can have access to this thing using Terraform. Okay, so for now, if you like what you saw, and if you are really amazed by what you saw, please share, comment, subscribe. Bye.